Hello everyone and welcome back to a new video. In this video I'm going to show you my brand new LSPDFR project called Tacco FBI callouts, and I'm inviting you to play one of the first callouts with me together. First of all, please notice that the current version is still work in progress and not a playable version for the community, so it could be that there are a few bugs in it. I would like to start with telling you a few, in my opinion, interesting facts about my FBI plugin. I've started working on this plugin 2 months ago. In the current version there are 3 callouts implemented yet. 1 suicide callout and 2 crime callouts. The crime callouts are the main callouts of this plugin. They all have their own storyline, which the player, while he's playing one of the crime callouts, can change in many ways. So it's up to you to find the right suspect and how long it takes to finish the callout. It's also up to you to find all evidence and finding out who's telling the truth and who's not. While playing one of the crime callouts, you have to talk to many people. You have to talk to other police officers which are on scene. You have to talk to paramedics, to firefighters, witnesses, to questionings in your own office, and finding out who's telling the truth and who's not. The final version will include 2 plugin files in the download file, so you will be able to configure the plugin in the way you want to. 1 file for callouts in Los Santos, 1 file for callouts in Sandy Shores and its area. You can also combine the 2 files to get callouts over the entire area. The final version will contain several crime callouts and random FBI callouts like drug deals, suicides, arrest warrants, hostage takings and robberies. Alright, if you have more questions about the FBI plugin, don't be hesitate to use the comment function. I always try to answer all of your questions as soon as possible. You can also join my Discord server, follow me on Twitter or follow me on lspdfr.com. Good! Now let's start playing with one of the crime callouts. But guys, please don't forget that this version is work in progress. Before starting with the gameplay, I would like to tell you that I've implemented a notification which pops up on the bottom left after going on duty, which tells you if you have the newest version of this plugin. So it will be easier for you to stay up to date. Alright, so let's start. We got a call from dispatch that a dead body was found in the cemetery of Los Santos. Okay, we are now on scene and have to talk to our chief first. The blue dots on the mini-map on the bottom left show us where we have to go next. The blue dots are active tasks and the red dots are sleeping tasks. These tasks are not activated right now, but they will be activated later. It is very important. It is really very important to read the conversation lines very carefully to complete the callouts to 100%. It's also my aim to try to create the crime scenes and all other spots as detailed as possible. Like you can see, there are firefighters doing their stuff, reporters are on scene, police officers are talking to each other. Some of the police officers are trying to control the crowd, talking to people, the CSI is on scene taking pictures, searching for evidence. Other police officers started talking to possible witnesses, paramedics looking after people, and so on. Helping notifications will pop up from time to time to help you a little bit with the key binning. For those of you who played my highway callout plugin, the key binning shouldn't be a big problem, because the key binning of the FBI plugin is quite the same like the key binning of the highway callout plugin. And the first step is to make contact with our chief. Let's see what he has to say. Now you can see that the blue dot turned into a red one, and another dot was set on the minimap. It shows us that we have completed the first task and have to go to the next one. The medic tells us that the priest is still in shock, so we have to be very careful. This is our first testimony task. We have two options now. We can ask him who he is, or we can ask him what happened. It's up to you. If you ask the wrong question, it could be that you won't get all important information you need. The second important step is to figure out if the person you are talking to is telling the truth or not. Wrong decisions have negative consequences. This testimony task is one of the easy ones. He tells us that he was in church and didn't see if the person was a man or a woman. In my opinion, he has no reason to lie. The second one is not that easy. The person we are talking to is a priest, and he tells us that he is not interested in rituals. You know what I mean? The statement can't be true because it is his job, and I'm pretty sure that he is lying. However, I believe him to show you that the wrong intuitions work and how it looks like. If we made the right one, we would have more important information now. Alright, we are finished here and have to go to the next possible witness. On the bottom left you can see that we have finished the first task now. Now we can move on and search for 3 evidence.
Dispatch calling unit Frank Ida 5, target vehicle license plate blast scene in Pacific Bluffs.
Very good. We found all 3 evidence on scene. Time to drive to the target vehicle. If you forget an information you need, you can go to your main menu and have a look into the info box. There you can see all conversation lines again. For example, I can't remember what the license plate of the target vehicle was. After having a look into the info box, I can matching the license plate of this vehicle with the license plate the witness told us. What do you guys think? Is he telling the truth or is he lying? Remember, wrong decisions have negative consequences. Alright, so we have two addresses now where his sister could be. We had been very lucky that one of her customers knew where Mrs. Nolan went next. Now we have to hurry up to catch her.
Over the GWC Engulfing Society.
Eagle 4, we're on it.
After arriving on scene, Mrs. Nolan entered the vehicle and is trying to flee from us now. We have to stop and arrest her as fast as we can.
Assistance required in Richmond. Units respond code 3.
Copy. Officers en route. Go ahead, make me use it.
Give it up!
Attention all units. A suspect placed under arrest. Assistance needed for a suspect placed under arrest in Rockford Hill.
Good job for your first case, detectives. We catched her and Mrs. Nolan is now under arrest. The next task popped up. We have to drive to Mrs. Nolan's house now and search it.
You better recognize, son.
Nolan's house, we can see that the CSI is already on scene and started searching for possible evidence inside and outside the house. Like we can see on our mini-map, we have to go to our chief to get following instructions. Now we have to search for evidence again. It is very important to remember the evidence we have found in the cemetery. It is also important to remember how the evidence looked like. Some striking characteristics or something like that. If you remember the grave we were looking at in the cemetery, there was a red sign which looked like a T built with candles. This is, for example, one of the evidence we have to search for. The special thing here is that you have no information about how many evidence you have to find. If you think you have found all evidence, go back to the chief to finish the search.
What the devil?
The grand finale has started. The next and last task is to go to the FBI building and question the suspect. Hopefully we have found all important evidence to arrest the suspect, and hopefully we have the right suspect. Let's enter the building and go to our office.
Fuck you, cabroncito!
Home sweet home. Let's start with the questioning. Mrs. Nolan is waiting in our office. Okay guys, so the questioning is not implemented yet. In the final version you will get lots of options. Facing her with the collected evidence, ask her a lot of questions, and so on and so on. We are finished with the work in progress version now. I hope that you guys enjoyed this video about my new project Tacco FBI Callouts. If you like it, please use the comment function and or give me a thumbs up to show me. Like I said at the beginning of this video, don't be hesitate to contact me on my Discord server, on Twitter, or on lspdfr.com if you have some questions about this project, my highway callouts, or anything else. Now I have to continue working on my plugins. See you next time, your Tacco.